Hi, my name is Heath Brohart. This is my person of interest speech. American business exec, computer programmer, and entrepreneur who led a small garage operation into one of the largest computing telecom companies in the world. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was a man with a vision. But why should we listen to his story? A man who dropped out of college and in a sense lost his way, who would later become a household name, was extremely inspiring to me. I'm going to go over a little bit of his life story, starting from his early life to his college life and the creation of Apple. It's interesting to learn that a man with such humble beginnings would later change the world. He was put up for adoption shortly after he was born. His parents attended the University of Wisconsin. His father was a political science major, and his mother was a communications major, according to bibliography.com. He was adopted by Steve was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs in 1955. They had been wanting to adopt a child, and this was their opportunity. Steve was an incredibly smart child. By the time he was in 4th grade, his teachers wanted to move him to a high school level due to his extremely high scoring on tests, but his parents declined, wanting him to get the social aspect of going through normal school. Being extremely smart, Steve was frustrated in school. He was often bribed to do his work. He was often noted as a prankster due to his boredom. Steve attended Reed College in Portland, Oregon. He attended for 6 months. He would later be said to be saying that he felt that college stifled a young person's creativity and it was such a pivotal time in their life. Feeling like he was wasting his parents' money, he dropped out. He started doing odd jobs with his folks, doing car repair and other odd jobs. Steve briefly worked for Atari Games right out of college. This is where he got his love of technology, according to Britannica.com. After working a few odd jobs, Steve embarked on a journey to India, where he studied spiritual enlightenment by Buddhist monks. Steve wanted to forge his path, and upon returning to the United States, Steve met up with an old coworker he met at Atari named Steve Wozniak. In 1976, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak started Apple Computers in their family's garage. They funded their new venture by selling a Hewlett-Packard scientific computer that was owned by Steve Wozniak, and Steve Jobs sold his Volkswagen minibus, according to entrepreneur.com. Steve and Wozniak are credited with changing the face of home computing. They brought computers to the average consumer. They sold their first computer, the Apple I, for $666, which netted them in their first year $744,000. 3 years later, their company managed to earn $139 million. With a rough start in Steve's education and completely leaving school, Steve was able to forge his path. With the help of Steve Wozniak, Steve was able to develop one of the most well-known brands, that being Apple. We are all affected by technology, and knowing one man's life has changed ours so drastically. When Paul and Clara adopted Steve, they had no idea the impact he would have on this world. Steve Jobs gave his life and everything to Apple. In 2011, Steve passed away from cancer. I'd like to close with my favorite Steve Jobs quote. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work, and the only way to do great work is to do what you love. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Thank you.